Hi there, and welcome back to the latest edition of Under the Radar Review. I'm your host, Steven. And with Under the Radar Reviews, I kind of pick films that deserve a little bit more love. But in this case, it's a kind of how the heck did this movie get so good when it shouldn't be this good? Now, good. I'm saying entertaining. This is a buddy cop film from the 80s. Buddy cop films were very, very popular in the 80s. You had Lethal Weapon, Beverly Hills Cop, Running Scared, and a host slew of others. Nothing too deep. They're always just action packed one liners, explosions, gratuitous nudity every once in a while. It was the 80s. That's the way it was. So for this one, I've picked Tango and Cash. This came out Christmas of '89. It stars Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. We have producer John Peters, who was very, very popular at the time, had a string of hits, decides he wants to make a buddy cop film, but not any old buddy cop film. He wants to bring in the big guns to do this. He gets Sylvester Stallone, who has done Rocky, Rambo, Cobra. He is a box office sensation. Who's the next guy who can stand toe to toe in action? None other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says no. You've got a big void now in this film. They look for someone who's the hottest guy, who's kind of trending at this moment. We got Patrick Swayze off Dirty Dancing. They try to reel him in. He doesn't bite. He goes on to do Roadhouse. Great choice. They're looking for somebody who's a solid actor who can come in at the last moment and take over. We need somebody who's been in the business for a while. Has got, he's not green, behind the ears. He's not wet behind the ears. He's got something. Kurt Russell, Disney actor. He knows how to work under stress. He's done a lot of movies. At that point, he's known for dramas, mostly like Silkwood, Tequila Sunrise. He's not the action star of Escape from New York yet, Breakdown, Tombstone, but he will be. But he's a solid actor. He's known to be great in everything he does. They bring him in. John Peters decides to pick this Russian director whose only American film was Runaway Train with John Voight. Now, it's a great film. Now, the Russian director known as Andrea Konchalovsky has decided he wants to take the action, this buddy cop story scenario, and kind of make it more serious, flip the stereotype over. Stallone is in agreement. He doesn't want to make just a regular buddy cop. He wants to do something else. He wants to make something substantial. These guys are clicking. Producer John Peters is like, no, 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 no. We're doing it. Explosions, camp, funny jokes, one-liners, like it's always been. It's worked for 100 years. We're not stopping now. So tension starts on the set immediately, apparently. First day on the set, Kurt Russell hurts his hamstring. So he's injured throughout the whole movie, which is a bummer. We have Jack Palance. I love the guy. Very strong presence on film, but a very weird character. How they tried to make him scary, but he's got these weird things that now that I'm saying it, I don't know how I enjoyed him in the movie, but he is enjoyable. He brings weight, he brings presence, but he's got mice in a box on his desk. His house is rigged to explode. He's got secret panels, secret rooms with mirrors. It's just an odd scenario. Terry Hatcher plays Tango's sister, the Stallone character. She's kind of a art house provocative dancer in a strip club where she's kind of dancing and dressing provocative, yet playing drums for no reason. Didn't make sense last night, but I guess in the 80s, I guess you saw a pretty girl on screen. You kind of went, okay. I was a teenager. I probably said, Terry Hatcher, she looks good. Saw that. I accepted it, but talking about it, it makes absolutely no sense. It shouldn't work. Like I said, we had this Russian director comes in. They're trying to do something different with the genre. John Peters is apparently one of those producers that comes in every day. He goes, I got an idea. I want this to be done. I want this to explode. I want this on fire. Just add this in. So there's constant rewrites. Stallone steps in to even rewrite this film. He even directs it a little bit until they bring in Albert Magnoli and Peter MacDonald in later stages of the film to continue and try to piece together, because Konchalovsky has left due to conflicting views of how this film should be done. So there's bits and pieces everywhere. These two guys are brought in to kind of piece everything together and try to make a film. And it works. Somehow, this thing works. There's even a fight sequence at the end where Stallone has to fight somebody who we've never seen in the movie before, and just has to have it because Kurt Russell's fighting one of the bad guys from Jack Palance that we've seen throughout the movie, but now Stallone has nobody to fight, so they just bring this random dude to fight him, and saying it makes no sense. But as you're watching, oh, okay, he's got to fight a guy. Okay, I don't know, it works, but I think what works for me, what elevated this film from, I think it would have been two other actors, this would have been a disaster. I think the fact that the chemistry between Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell is so undeniable. These guys who play mismatched cops suddenly go together and kind of finish each other's sentences, learn to appreciate each other. It worked. I don't know how they did this, because looking at everything that I saw and reading about this film should be a total train wreck. This thing should be like the Wild Wild West with Will Smith, who I think was produced by Peters as well. It should be a train wreck, but it's so damn entertaining. So I'm telling you, if you like buddy cop films and you like Kurt Russell and you like Sylvester Stallone and you want two guys that have chemistry, do yourself a favor, give Tango and Cash a look, and remember all the stuff that was going behind the scenes. This film should not be this entertaining. So it gets my under the radar review, its stamp of approval. It deserves a little bit more love because after all these obstacles, this film still is fun to watch. So do yourself a favor, search for it. It must be on a streaming service somewhere. I have the Blu-ray. I enjoyed it last night. I had a grin from ear to ear. But I'm a sucker for Stallone and Russell, so you let me know what you think of this movie. I'll put maybe a preview down below. Have you heard of this movie? Do you like this movie? Do you know what I'm talking about? Buddy cop films? Love to hear from you. Share your thoughts with us. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This is Steven with my Under the Radar review, Tango and Cash from 1989. And I'll be seeing you soon, guys.